my fellow human beings, and welcome to episode 126 of The Best Plus Life. I'm your best host, Kristen, and today's topic is don't go bananas and fritter your Zimbabwe out of it. That's the best I could do, guys. Come on. Before we get started, I want to thank you all for watching. Please continue to watch, comment, share, like, subscribe, ring that bell, and please pass them on to anyone you think they would help. With that being said, first of all, happy 4th of July. And yes, I am doing a holiday one. Don't question it. Here's our list of things to do today. We are going to do our daily affirmations for the past week. Last week we talked about self-care. This week I'm going to talk about self-love. But I'm also going to be talking about the book we finished called Cartwheeling in Thunderstorms, and that's where this recipe comes from today because it is cookbook at First Look. So I will be talking to you about the Cartwheeling book, but I will also be mentioning the new book that Magnus and I are me and Magnus are reading. Grammatically correct? Quotes? I don't know. Anyway, so that's that, and I will do the daily affirmations first. Oh, we're making banana fritters. It seems to be a Zimbabwean dessert, I guess. I don't remember there being any food mentioned in the Zimbabwe portion of the book, which was like the first half maybe. And I really wanted to make something different. Although she did go to England, there could have been something there that would have been quite interesting to make. But I decided to go with Zimbabwe. I was going to do a chicken also, but because this was a holiday episode, I was kind of overwhelmed with doing both things. So I chose to do the banana fritters because they sound really good. Okay, so we're going to do the affirmations first. Hope everyone has a safe 4th. Please be safe. Yeah. So we're starting with the 28th of June. I give myself time and opportunity to heal. The 29th. I am the hero in my own story. I'm eager to turn to the next page. The 30th. I am at peace with who I am. I won't apologize for being me. The 1st. I am responsible for my own peace and well-being. The 2nd. My body is one of a kind. It is worthy of respect, and I celebrate its uniqueness. The 3rd. I can say no to foods that don't promote health and wellness, except for banana fritters. And today's is my body deserves to be cared for. I strengthen it through nourishing food and exercise. Or at least try to. Okay, so that's that. And then the next thing we're doing, keep in mind all my recipes, I'm still using that gluten-free kind of rice flour. It's a 1-to-1 white flour. I just don't mention it every time. I probably should. It's a King Arthur flour that I super duper love. I've gotten some decent results. I've gotten some, not so fun results as well. I'm not always sure that it's because of the flour, but, whatever. Okay, so these are actually called Zimbabwe banana fritters, but I put Zimbabwean for some goofy reason. So it's 3 bananas, 2 tablespoons of milk, 2 eggs, 1 tablespoon of butter melted, 1 cup of flour, 3 tablespoons of sugar, 1 teaspoon of baking powder, half teaspoon of salt, 1/4 teaspoon of cinnamon, 1 pinch of nutmeg, which I did not use. I can't do it, guys. I smell it and it just makes me frustrated. I don't know. Oil for frying, and I have an asterisk by that for a reason, and I'll tell you that in a minute. 1 tablespoon of olive oil and 1 cup powdered sugar for dusting. So in a large mixing bowl, we're not going to peel the bananas in a mixing bowl. I've already peeled them and put them in a mixing bowl for mashing. She recommends a fork or a potato masher. Add milk, eggs, and melted butter. Thoroughly mix all ingredients until well combined. In a separate bowl, combine the flour, sugar, baking powder, salt, cinnamon, and if you prefer, you can add the nutmeg as well. Add dry mixture to wet mixture, stirring until you get a smooth batter, stirring with spatula until there's no lumps. Then in a large fry pan, heat the oil over medium-high heat. Once hot enough, drop by tablespoons into oil. Fry fritters until golden. I couldn't read that word, so I improvised. Golden on both sides. Remove from pan. I got that light right there. Remove from pan and drain on paper towel, removing with slotted spoon, and sprinkle with generous amounts of powdered sugar. And she doesn't say when to put the powdered sugar on. I think I'm going to let them cool for a little bit when they come out of the oil. And okay, so it says to fry them. And I am going to try frying. I'm not a big fan of it because, one, it makes a super big mess. And I do have an air fryer. I understand that. But I do want to go by the recipe's cooking method, at least for a few of them. And what I would like to do is bake some of them. So I'm preheating my oven to 450. I'm winging it here, guys. Because I want to bring some for a sampling of people that I'm going to see on Saturday. And hopefully I can get their opinion. But if I fry them, they're going to get greasy and gross. And the powdered sugar will just... it will be melted into it, and it will just not be very good. So what I want to try and do is bake these ones that I'm bringing. How rude. Bake the ones that I'm bringing, and then once we get there, figure out a way to warm them a little bit. Maybe just pop them in the microwave in a plastic container for maybe, I don't know, 10 seconds or so. And then hopefully the powdered sugar would then stick to them because they would be re-warm and easier to do that way. So that's the plan, okay? Now, I'm a little concerned because I just realized that it doesn't mention this olive oil at all. It mentions, getting the, heat the oil over medium-high heat, but we have a quart. I should have mentioned that there's a quart of oil for frying, but then she also mentions 1 tablespoon of olive oil, but she doesn't say when you're supposed to use the olive oil. Am I supposed to put the olive oil in with the regular oil? I hate to say it, but I gotta put you on pause for a second. I really do want to be able to figure this out. And when she talked, and I did put them separate. I put oil for frying, and that was mentioned as a quart. And then the 1 tablespoon of olive oil is directly after that. But I don't remember her saying anything about the olive oil. She just said the oil. So I'm going to put you on pause for just a second so I can read and not be completely distracted. All right, I'll be right back. All right, I just had a conference with my creative director, and she suggests we just skip the olive oil because I looked up other Zimbabwe banana fritters, and they do not mention olive oil at all, nor does she mention what she does with the 1 tablespoon of olive oil. She mentions the quart for frying, but she does not mention the olive oil. So, bye-bye olive oil. Popeye's going to be so sad. All right, guys. Sorry about that. It took a minute. Okay, so I have my spatula, and I'm going to get a banana masher. Yeah, I said it. I'm feeling goofy today. What can I tell you? Happy 4th, everyone. Please be safe. I had crazy people lighting off fireworks by my house, at 9:30 this morning. And not the fun kind. So, yeah, it was loud. They were doing, sticks of dynamite last night, which I felt to my soul. Just please be careful, people. Most of you out there that are doing them near me, I'm assuming you're not professionals. I will not assume, but you know what I'm saying. Okay. So, I don't know. She wants it smooth, but I think I may want a little chunk of banana in my fritter. I don't want it to just taste like banana. I want to know there's a little bit of banana in it. That's my call. You do what you choose. How's that sound? I don't know. I need textural difference, That's my thing. So if you find that you'd rather have it smooth because you don't like the textural difference, feel free to mash it completely. Some people just left their bananas like whole and then did the fry batter, or halved anyway, and did the fry batter around it and did it that way. I don't know if I'd want to do it that way either, though. Okay, so now we're adding the milk. That's 2 tablespoons of milk. We are adding the eggs. That's 2 eggs. Oh, I gotta melt my butter. Let me melt my butter real quick. So, I pretty much talked about this book a lot. This Cartwheels and Thunderstorms. It's just it's a little bit of a tearjerker. I'm not gonna lie. There's a good, bad, and ugly that happens. I would just say that this little girl is pretty strong, and she knows who she is. I don't remember them mentioning an age, but I would say she's about 8 to 10, somewhere in there. She didn't have like a formal education, so when she had to leave Zimbabwe for London, she knew things from reading books and learning from other people, but she didn't have like teachers actually teach her things. Okay. It's melted enough, I would say. Do I want to put my eggs in first? Actually, let me put the butter in first, and then maybe it'll cool down not to cook my eggs. And she's there with her father. I don't remember why, because her father's British and her mother is British. And I don't know, they own a farm in Zimbabwe. And that's where she was raised. Until tragedy. And I don't, like I said, I like to review, but I don't like to give too much away. And let's just say her surroundings changed dramatically from this desert farmland with friends of the family that she's known forever. Actually, I don't think her father owned the farm. I have to take that back. I believe his boss owned the farm and they lived there. Because I remember the boss saying something like, I'll take care of her or something. So that's enough of giveaway for the tragedy part. But she ends up in London, and she's not happy about her situation at all. And she's not really presentable for a boarding school that she goes to in London. She's very rough. She has very long hair that doesn't look like it's been brushed, and she's dirty, and she's dressed for the desert. When she gets to London, it's cold, and it's almost winter, I believe. And she's just not happy. And she never wanted to go in the first place. I think she ran away, or at least tried to hide. I could be making that one up. This is the fear I had when I waited too long to review a book. Like, can't remember everything that happened. Okay. So we did all that. I think they're well combined. Again, I left it a little chunky, so I'm going to say they're combined based on how much banana I left. Kind of whole-ish. Okay. Maybe I should whip it a little more. I don't want to, there is a little bit of egg that didn't get mixed in. But I don't want to whip it so much because I'm afraid what little bits of chunked banana I have in here will kind of just break apart. Okay, so then the next thing is in the separate bowl, I have my flour. And then to that, we're going to add our 1 teaspoon of baking powder, a half teaspoon of salt, and a 1/4 teaspoon of cinnamon. It might be a little extra. Because you know me and cinnamon. Okay. Oh, and then the sugar, right? Didn't it say the sugar too? Combine flour, sugar, baking powder, salt, cinnamon, and nutmeg. If you're adding nutmeg. So here's our, and it's 3 tablespoons of sugar. She does mention white sugar pretty consistently, but I don't use white sugar. So it is what it is. Whatever it comes out to be, that's what it is, right? That's my theory. I'm sticking to it. And I'm also going to try not to fry them in so much oil. I'm hoping I can just do it with like a little bit in the bottom, since they seem to probably be, you know, a little flatter. I think a quart seems like a lot. Alright, so we got that all combined. Yeah, I don't see any like big chunks of cinnamon in there or anything. Okay, this over here. Didn't really get it dirty. It just needs to be washed off. Okay, and then we slowly add the dry into the wet, stirring with a spatula until there's no lumps, except I'm going to have lumps. I don't want flour lumps. I just have banana lumps. But what happens in the end is quite a way to end a book. I would say it's a pretty interesting ending. I like where she went with it. It was fun and different. I didn't expect it, to be honest. I didn't think that she would depend on the kindness of strangers, so to speak. And that's kind of where she went. And she went on a whim. She did a lot of things to break away from the boarding school, hiding in interesting places. That's all I'm going to tell you. I'm not going to tell you where, because that's part of the fun. The people that she meets along the way and the trouble that she gets into, while you would think would be detrimental, ends up being a saving grace in the end. She kind of needed to get caught, so to speak. And she found, I'm going to cry. She found a very kind woman who said, you know what, you kind of got to face it. I hate to break it to you, love, but you still got to deal with it. No matter what comes your way, running away, it's still going to be there. And while we all have a fight or flight, I do feel like there's this initial need to go, I just need to leave, you know, I need to get away. So she, for being a young girl, she was determined to get herself back to Zimbabwe, and she had a plan in her head. Now, let's face it, her plan was not going to work. All of her stuff was at the boarding school, pretty much, I think including her passport. And she thought she could work on the street to make money to get back to Zimbabwe. And she knew I think she got robbed on the street, so that kind of ended her street performer persona. And then she's just like, I need some help. I'm not going to get through this. Police are now looking for me. Not because she did anything horrible. But she needed to be caught. She was a little kid running around in the cold with no real clothes on, getting hurt constantly. I think she probably had a broken ankle or something by that point, and, you know, just was not, okay, I'm not really convinced we're going to be able to bake these because they're pretty runny. We might just have to fry them, I don't know, and hope I can get all the grease off and then just powdered sugar them when I get there. Because I just think this is just going to spread. It's like pancake batter. I don't know why I thought it was going to be thicker and I was going to be able to use my ice cream scooper to just put them on a, what's it do those? I can't think straight right now. So I am going to have to fry them all, unfortunately. Which is kind of sad, but you know, it happens. So I think I'm going to turn the oven off so I don't make it any hotter in here. And I think I'm going to let you go until we get the oil heated up. But before I do that, I think I'm going to present you with the first look of the new book Magnus and I are reading. Let me get this out of the way. So, okay. So I highly recommend Cartwheeling in Thunderstorms by Catherine Rundell. Go out and get it. If not, if you want to read it, this is another way. If anyone wants to request any of the books that I've read to be sent to them, or a meetup or something if you live close by, I would be more than happy to do that. I just did that for How Could She? I dropped off the book and a sample of the pistachio lemon cake. I'm waiting to hear back to see how it went. She was on vacation, so I hope she got to read the book while she was away. But if you would like to request me sending you this book, send it through my Instagram at The Best Blessed Life, Facebook. I am Kristen Haas, KristinHass, or on Twitter at The Best Blessed Life, with life spelled with a 1 instead of an I. And then I started this new one. It's a long one, so we're not going to have a cookbook and look for a while, but I think it'll be worth it once we do something. I haven't noticed too many food mentions in here, but we'll come up with something. Okay, so it's called Clara and Mr. Tiffany. Oop, let me give my hand out of the way. Oop. And it's by Susan Vreeland, also the author of Girl in Hyacinth Blue. We're about halfway through, I guess. Let me read you the synopsis. This will be the first time I've read it. I mean, I get the gist of it. It is the Mr. Tiffany, the lamp Mr. Tiffany, although he was the son of the jeweler, which I'm not sure I knew. Seems logical enough, right? I don't know. Anyway, against the unforgettable backdrop of New York near the turn of the 20th century, from the Gilded Age world of formal balls and opera to the immigrant poverty of the Northeast Side, best-selling author Susan Vreeland again breathes life into a work of art in this extraordinary novel, which brings a woman once lost in the shadows into vivid color. It's 1893, and we're talking about the World's Fair again. I do believe we just read one not too long ago. And at the Chicago World's Fair, Louis Comfort Tiffany makes his debut with a luminous exhibition of innovative stained glass windows, which he hopes will honor his family business and earn him a place on the international artistic stage. But behind the scenes in his New York studio is the free-thinking Clara Driscoll, head of his women's lost my place already, gosh darn it. Head of his women's division. Yes, that's right, women's division. Publicly unrecognized by Tiffany, Clara conceives of and designs nearly all of the iconic leaded glass lamps for which he is long remembered. Clara struggles with her desire for artistic recognition and the seemingly insurmountable challenges that she faces as a professional woman, which ultimately force... I had my back door open and I thought my stove was about to blow up or something. Oh my gracious. Okay. Sorry about that. Challenges that she faces as a professional woman, which ultimately force her to protest against the company she has worked so hard to cultivate. She also yearns for love and companionship and is devoted in different ways to 5 men, including Tiffany, her boss, who enforces a strict policy. He does not hire, get this, married women. And any who do marry while under his employ must resign immediately. Eventually, like many women, Clara, I keep calling her Claire, must decide what makes her happiest, the professional world of her hands or the personal world of her heart. I'm going to tell you, I'm really liking this one. I'm either really good at picking books or I've just been very, 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 very lucky. I'm hoping, it does not say based on a true story or anything, but I'm hoping that a good portion of this is actually truthful, because it seems like a very, she's a very ambitious woman, and I'm very impressed by how hard of an effort she has to put forward to even be considered up there with the men, so to speak. She becomes a designer when she was normally just a glass selector. So basically she would pick out all the little, pieces of glass for the stained glass windows, and then there would be somebody else that would design them. There was a soldering person, there was a metals person, there was the people that make the glass, and they came up with some very innovative glass while she was there. So I'm hoping a lot of it is true. Okay, so I'm going to take a break for a little bit. I'm going to heat up my oil, and I'm going to come back, and hopefully this won't be a messy disaster. It's not going to be. I have positive thoughts. Okay, I'll be back in a few. Okay, everybody, so what I decided to do, I'm not using a quart of oil. I don't know. I just feel like that's a lot, and they go pretty flat because they're very pancake-like. I mean, they're not going to stay poofy. They're going to flatten out. So I don't know why I needed to completely cover them in oil. I'm sure it's going to backfire on me. But I'm also trying to make it a little bit healthier. So I'm hoping that some of this oil will come off after we're done frying them. And then I'm going to wait just a couple minutes before I put the powdered sugar on, just a few for sampling. Hopefully that does not backfire on me. We will see how it goes. Oh, you know what I could have used though is the back of my spatula to see if my oil is ready. Have you guys ever used that trick where you put your wooden spoon in the oil, and if it, I got water on there. If it bubbled around there, it would be ready. Or you can use a little bit of the batter. That's another way to test it. I like to put my hand there and know that it's not not ready yet. So if you do want me to send you the cartwheeling book, you do message me in one of those social media platforms, and I will ship it. I will meet you up and hand it to you. I could drop it off, whatever you'd like, if you're close enough, obviously. I mean, unless you live somewhere tropical, I would be more than happy to drop it off. Okay. That's just mine. But get this other book, or if you want to wait and see if I can send it to you, I got them. I like it. But I don't know. Maybe I'm just one that likes a lot of books. I don't know. I have come across a few that I would say, one, I could not even read like 3 pages, and I had to stop. And I know that wasn't the rule, but it was I was just lost, basically from the beginning of the book. And the terminology was Irish or British or something, where it was like they were using those kinds of terms, but they didn't mention until later on in the pages that they were British or Irish. I can't even remember which. But needless to say, it's too hard to follow. I'm only going to make them this big. almost like a donut hole, I'm hoping. We'll see what happens. Okay. Oil was not ready. I jumped the gun. This one's not going to be great, I'm going to guess. Maybe I can get the oil up a little faster. So, check those out. And then I'm going to talk about self-love a little bit. Because we talked about self-care last week. And I feel like they kind of go together. That you need to love yourself enough to take better care of yourself. If that makes any sense at all, it's not being selfish or ignorant or just, walking around doing whatever the hell you feel like. It's not that kind of self-love. It's the love where you give yourself a good amount of attention and care, and then you go out in the world and you do the same for other people. Simple enough, right? That's all we need to do. Okay, I think we're starting to fry a little bit. Alright, my medium high must not be medium high enough. Let me turn it up a little bit more. And like I would say, like, half of it is in the oil. So I think it'll get cooked enough that when I flip it over, it won't be super duper greasy when I take it out, if that makes any sense at all. Okay. I'm going to double up the paper towel just so that it gets out a good amount. Or I could stick them in between and I could dab off both sides at the same time. Sound good? So, how do you feel you would go about self-love? Like, I don't know. I feel like if you gave yourself enough attention to, like, I don't know, dance in the morning before you go to work, because it'll make you feel better and you'll present a better version of yourself when you go out there. You know, that kind of thing. Let's see if I can flip it. Nope, not golden enough. I am such an impatient person. Can you tell? Alright, let's get that up to 8. I hate to say that because I feel like it'll start splattering everywhere. Or, I hate to use food as a reward, but going out and doing something for yourself that you wouldn't normally do. Take yourself to that restaurant you've always wanted to go to, but maybe go for lunch instead of for dinner because it would be less money. You know, things like that. Going to the salon to get a hairdo. Self-love. It just makes you feel like you are conquering the world. I don't know. You leave with the attitude, you know. Like, I look good. And I feel good about myself. You know? You don't gotta do that sometimes. Don't you think? Alright, it's kind of golden. Not as golden as I would like. But this is our experimental one. Gotta have an experimental one, I feel like. I was kind of hoping I was going to get to it before this banana stuck to it. It's going to make it harder to turn, right? The banana keeps sticking to it. I wish she gave you a time frame, kind of, how long you should fry it for. So golden on both sides sometimes could be a... Let's see here. Ah! You can't get it to flip. Flip back over. Nope. Alright. Ah! Oh no! Oh, Peyton!
What?
I need your assistance or something. Oh, golly. I got it.
Oh, I just got up.
Well, sorry. It landed on the stovetop. Can you see it dripping?
Oh.
Never a dull moment. So, self-love, self-care, I think they go well together. It's about your mental and physical well-being, as well as just, everybody deserves to take better care of themselves, health-wise, and why not do it in a fun and, oh, there we go. Oh, this is a good one. This is a good one, guys. All right, I'm going to put you on pause, and I'm going to make a few more. I just want to get it golden on the first side, because I have a feeling this guy is a little, going to be a little oily. I kind of wanted it to, at least. Yeah, I don't know why you would need a quart of oil. I used, I don't know, maybe a cup. Maybe not even a cup. I don't know, it's spread out over the pan, I can't really tell. Alright, but I'm going to put you on pause while I make a few, because you see how easy it is, ha ha ha. But I'm going to put this first one on the paper towel so I can show you what it looks like. It just looks like a pancake, for lack of a better word. But there she is in all her glory. And this is one side, and that is the other. Ooh, they smell so good. It's like fried banana bread. All right, well, I'm going to put you on pause, and I'll come back, and hopefully we'll be sampling them in front of you. I'll be right back. All right, guys, we're back, and I have a sample buddy.
Hello.
Okay, so this is what they look like once they're fried. They look really delicious. And then we did one powdered sugar, and we decided to do one cinnamon sugar. Shh, don't tell anybody. So we're going to try the sample the way it's supposed to be eaten with the powdered sugar.
Cheers.
Cheers.
That's nice.
Wow. Oh, wow.
Again, I think it would be good with a pecan in it.
So you like a nut in it. Mmm.
Like a banana muffin.
Hold on, I gotta get these off. And then we'll sample the other ones. I don't want them to burn. I think they're burning. That one is definitely dark. So is that one. Sorry, guys. We'll get to the other sample in a second. Okay. So, they're pretty easy. They're just like a pancake, really. You didn't need all that oil, if you ask me. All right, here's the cinnamon sugar. Cheers.
Not as good.
Not as good. We'll stick with the powdered sugar. But still tasty.
Yeah.
I'm not complaining about it. So good. So light. What do you think?
Pretty
We make
good.
them again, wouldn't
Yeah.
we? Absolutely. All right, guys, we're going to let you go because I got a lot more to fry. And we got stuff to do, okay? Don't judge. I hope you check out those books I talked to you about. If you're the person that wants me to send you cartwheeling in thunderstorms, message me on Facebook, Instagram, or Twitter. And I'll be happy to send it to you with maybe a sample. I don't know how well they'll travel. I don't know. You have to live close by. And check out Clara and Mr. Tiffany by Susan Vreeland. Okay, I think that's about it, guys. I hope you have the best and safest 4th of July. Celebrate with family and friends. And I look forward to seeing you next time. And with that, I have to say, have a good day. Go do great things. Be your best self. And please live your best blessed life.
Yippee!
Thanks for watching. Bye. I don't mind.